Today on What It's Like, back at John Kuefleitner's to take a look at this end of an era car, 1996 Lincoln Mark VIII. This was the last of the Lincoln Mark series. But before we get into all of that, I'm Jay. Welcome to What It's Like. This channel, we feature the classics, vintage, some exotics, lots of orphan cars, cars that are off the beaten path. If that sounds of interest to you, subscribe, hit the bell icon next to it to never miss a video. If you'd like to get in touch with me for any reason whatsoever, shoot me a comment in the comment section. I answer and read all comments posted. The other way is we have a Facebook group that correlates with this YouTube channel. No obligation to join, just simply saying that it's a thing. And if you want to share your rides as well as stories, experiences, and get this, I'm not a jerk, so if you have a car YouTube channel that you'd like to share on Facebook group, go for it. Car community's for everyone, so if you're interested in that, link is in the description. If you like this channel and you dig this episode, please give it a like so more people can see this in the future. A bit of background on the Mark series for those not familiar. This design goes back to 1956 with the Continental Mark II. There was other Continentals before the Mark II, but they were never really called Marks until the Mark II came out, if that makes any sense. The Mark II ran from 1956 to 1957. So here's where things get a bit confusing. 1958, Mark III came out. 1959, Mark IV came out. 1960, Mark V came out, which these three are huge, and they don't really share anything with the other Marks except the name. Lincoln took a bit of a hiatus or a break with the Mark series until 1969 when they came out with the Mark III, which was produced from 1969 to 1971. The Mark III was a continuation of design of the 1956 Continental Mark II. All of the Marks were evolutions of that design from here on out. The Mark IV came out in 1972 and ran until 1976. Mark V was produced from 1977 to 1979. Mark VI was produced from 1980 to 1983. Mark VII, which is also referred to as LSC, was produced from 1984 to 1992. And the last one, the Mark VIII, was produced from 1993 to 1998. They did make another Mark series later on called the Mark LT, but that was a truck. The Mark III through the Mark VIII all shared the design evolution of the Continental Mark II. 1996, Lincoln offered three models: the Continental, the Town Car, the Lincoln Mark VIII. The Mark VIII came in two trim levels, the base and the LSC. LSC stood for Luxury Sports Car. It's worth pointing out that all the Mark series cars from this era shared underpinnings with the Mercury Cougar as well as the Ford Thunderbird. Let's talk specs. 207.3 inches long, 53.6 inches tall, 74.8 inches wide. It rides a wheelbase of 113 inches, weighs 3,757 pounds. Base price for the Mark VIII was $39,650, which is equivalent to you spending $74,871.53 in the year 2022. Let's talk features real quick. This car featured a unibody construction with high-strength steel roof, front and rear crumple zones, dual front side airbags, four-wheel anti-lock brakes, four-wheel independent suspension with front and rear stabilizer bars, computer-controlled air suspension with sensors, which would automatically adjust your ride height at speed. Moving on to engines, there was only one engine on offer, and it was Ford's very first modular V8, 280 cubic inch displacement, dual overhead cam V8, 4.6 liters. It makes 280 horsepower at 5,500 RPM, 290 horsepower if you opted for the LSC, 285 foot-pounds of torque at 4,500 RPM with a bore of 3.55 inches and a stroke of 3.54 inches. It is made out of aluminum. It features 32 valves. That's 4 valves per cylinder. The Lincoln Mark VIII could go 0 to 60 in 7.4 seconds. Top speed was 134 miles per hour, which was electronically governed. Could get between 21 miles per gallon and 26 miles per gallon. The only transmission on offer was a 4-speed automatic transmission. So before getting in here inside, I want to show you this. So Lincoln started this back in the 70s. This is the keyless system. You type in, I think it's a 5-code system. You type in the series of codes and that will unlock the doors, and then push the last 2 and it will pop the trunk. If you push these 2 by itself, it will lock the door. Watch this. So see that? It locks the door, and then to unlock it, you just put the key in here like this, and that unlocks it. Let's talk about this door panel. Look at how this door is designed. Armrest here, door handle here, passenger side windows, driver's side windows, lock and unlock. This has memory seats for 2-seat selection for memory seats there. These are for the remote control mirrors. It's on the right hand side now. Switch it over to left and then move this accordingly. Down here you have the fuel door, trunk release. Over here, power electric seats. Move it forward, back, up, down. This is for the lumbar. Check out the key situation. So I had an 88 Lincoln Town Car, and I also owned an 89 Lincoln Town Car. Never updated the keys. In fact, this is the same key that a Lincoln Mark V would use. Interesting. As well as a Continental Mark III, same key. On to the button switches and knobs, starting all the way to the left. Panel dim, then auto lamp, then the headlights. Next is the tachometer. Right next to it is the speedometer, has odometer at the top and tripometer in the center down there towards the bottom. The turn signal indicators are flanking the top of the speedometer. Fuel fill, there's an arrow that is pointing to the right side of the car, so that's showing you where the fuel door is. It's a very useful feature. There is 2 gauges just below that. Water temperature is on the left-hand side, fuel is on the right-hand side, and then coming back just a wee bit on the steering wheel column is the 4-way hazard button. This dashboard is super weird. Look at how it's staggered. Like top here, a midsection here, and then it goes down. It's a very interesting design. It reminds me of the 1959 Mercury design in a lot of aspects. It's not the same design, but it's tiered like the Mercury was tiered. There's a lot going on with this center stack. English, metric, clock, range, status, economy. This all has to do with fuel. This is the reset, system check, compass, oil change reset. These all have to do with the radio. This has a cassette player. Coming back here, if you push on this, this exposes where the ashtray is. This one here, that's a cup holder. Center console, it's a very deep center console. I'll show you how deep this center console is. Here's what the camera looks like. It almost fits in there. That's how deep it is. Here is over the hood impression. Here is what first person would look like. Hands on steering wheel. There are some buttons on the steering wheel. This is for cruise control to set it on and off, resume, set acceleration, and coast. Here's what under the steering wheel feels like. There's lots of room. Steering wheel is not in my crotch. This car has tilt wheels, so if the wheel isn't to your liking, you can always adjust it by moving the tilt feature, which is over here. It's a little stick. Here's your sun visor situation. And this sun visor situation, I don't know why this didn't catch on, but check this out. This actually has 2 sun visors. Back this up so you can see it. There's one here, and there is another one right here. And the thought process is watch this. Here, we'll talk about the vanity mirror situation first. Here's the vanity mirror situation. The battery's dead in this, and that's why these aren't lighting up right now. But getting back to the twin sun visor situation. So when you move this one over here to block the sunlight, if you're driving in an area and you need another sun visor, because there is a case when that happens, look, you got another sun visor to stick here. That's genius. I don't understand why this never caught on. But not only is there dual sun visors for the driver, there's also dual sun visors for the passenger as well. You got one here, and it flips out like this, and then you got another one that comes down like this. Brilliant idea that never caught on. This has an automatic dimming mirror. If somebody high beams you, it'll automatically adjust to not be bright. A lot of new cars have this. This is 1996. On to the glove box test. This is our test subject. Here is my hand for reference. If the camera does not fit in the glove box, that does not make it a bad car. I just like showing how big these glove boxes are. Here's the glove box. Notice, look at how it comes down like that. It fits and it shuts. I didn't think it was going to fit, honestly. All right, getting in the back seat, just fold the seat forward like that and move the seat belt. It's important, it's imperative that you move the seat belt out of the way so it doesn't get you. Just kind of, it's actually not that bad getting back here. Pull the seat back. So this is what I look like in the back seat. My head is kind of, there's adequate headroom. I wouldn't say that it's actually pretty comfortable back here. There's more room in the back of this seat than there is in, say, a 76 Cadillac Eldorado or the 75 Toronado. And those cars are significantly bigger than this car. The seating position is really comfortable. The seat back, let me show you what the seat back profile looks like. Back here, you could tell that it's reclined, and these dip down, so it's very interesting. Your butt is more angled down this way and your legs are more upright, but I don't think that it's uncomfortable. Here's what the leg room looks like. Obviously can't sit here like this, but if I sit like this, it's comfortable. These windows are fixed, they don't go down. There's coat hooks up here, as well as nice lights. Ashtray right underneath here for both passengers on both sides. Here is a cigarette lighter or power port, back of the console there. Nice armrest that comes down. There's no cup holders in it, it's just an armrest. Got nice map pockets back here. These seats are super comfortable. They're not like the pillowy seats from the 70s or the 80s, but they're really nice to sit in. So putting the key in the ignition with the door open, remember this sound? Coming down inside this pedal box, emergency brake, brake pedal, gas pedal. Notice this car still has the Mark VIII floor mats. That's really cool. This is for the hood release. Pop that real quick. Coming up here to the under the hood section, getting underneath this hood is a little bit tricky. So there is another mechanism right here. It's a little plastic thing, and it says to pull it to the left. And you do that and it releases. Let's just take a minute to look at this. So this is the hood release, and it's literally this bar, and that releases the hood. Lots of plastic covering up this one. I'm not a huge plastic cover fan, but this one's got 32 valve V8 in it. Coming back here to the under the trunk section, compact disc CD changer. I saw a spot for that, so it's interesting. The CD player is in the back here, and you can just load it up with CDs and change it from the front. where the spare tire is, and it's a donut tire situation, and it's got a scissor jack right there. But this trunk is pretty big, all things considered. It goes back quite a ways. This one's got just a slight fake tire bulge here at the top, which continues up here. But the original Mark II, that's where the spare tire went. This is the last body style to have that on it. On to the pros and cons. I am getting all of these pros and cons from the complete book of collectible cars, Blue Chip Auto Investment, 70 years from 1930 to 2000 by Richard M. Langworth and the Auto Editors of Consumer Guide. On the positive side, performance, sensational bodywork, novel, split level, dash/instrument panel, tiny production run. Against it, they are quite large and inefficient use of space. Plasticky interior components, factory collectibles are often not collected. All right, let's go on to Name That Tune. First person to give me the correct name of the band as well as song title correctly will have their comment pinned to the top of the comment section. I actually had another song in mind for the ending of this episode. I try to pair up the songs with the episodes if you haven't noticed, but I couldn't think of a more fitting song than this one. So hopefully you get it. Really good band. I listened to them a lot in high school. When I tell you that I was born in the wrong time period, I'm not lying. I was born in the wrong time period. Anyway, thank you all so much for coming out and watching this. I really appreciate all the support. And until next time, toodaloo!